Everybody, after the last video, I got a few requests, so I thought I would show you guys a couple of other versions of the pre-built that I did. So there's the existing pre-built, once again, dead in the center. The way that I lined up each one of my side pieces, they actually snap in perfectly. I'll show you around the side over here. So I got this to snap in perfectly so you don't see a gap. I added one of the new kits, which is the shingle shake. Fortunately, on one of the scoreboards, that piece right there that's snapping into the staircase, it's actually a fireplace, but rock is the same that's exactly on the pre-built, so it looks like the rock blends in perfectly. That closes up that gap right there. If you come around to the back, you can peek in through the bay glass window. You can see the living room, kitchen. This extra side piece was also one that I added onto it. This actually encases the extractor and things like that. Here's another side view. That way that anything that's not aesthetically pleasing to the eye is covered up. Okay, if you look, I'm in a location that is right up there by Settlers Ridge. Settlers Ridge is actually one of the new locations on Fallout 76, so they actually let you build that close. Also, if you look down here, I've got a little pond, so it looks just as if my staircase and this little walkway is going straight down to the little pond. I got lucky, I got a little beehive down there so I can actually get honey or I can get dirty water in order to, filter, cooking, things like that. I'll show you this outside area. So the outside area, just because it is a lodge, I added some pictures on the floor. That way it looks a little more realistic. Okay, this one's a little different on the inside. Number one, I've got a different ally. I've got Leo right there. Inside on this fireplace, I went ahead and I went with the brick fireplace because it matched, and that way you have a working fireplace. Kitchen, I went ahead and went this time again with another kitchen island, but on the top cabinets, as you see, I stretched them all the way across. Now, if you come up to the second floor, I did it a bit differently. I added a desk and a mirror right here. For people that can't jump to that third floor, I've got a bed right here for some buffs. And I added more buff machines right there on that part of the second floor. I did a little bit different second floor on this one, just because I wanted to do something different. Okay, now I'm going to try to get up to the third floor. Okay, on this third floor, the way that I did it a little drop down. So this actually, with the animals, looks like a bay window. So it's a totally different look. Also, I did the heart bed. The heart bed is the only bed that can actually get the sleeping buff well rested. Okay, this bathroom looks a little differently. I added a rug, bathtub, and then the toilet as well. Of course, we've got the vanity. Now, up here, I used the glass floor, as you can see. Number one, so you can see all the way down to the second, third floor, all of those. But also because if you use the glass floor, it lets the light through, so it looks a lot brighter over here. Okay? When we jump down, I'll show you the other things that's out here. Okay? This particular area happens to have Tinker's Workbench, one of my doggone shelters, and it has the armor workbench. If you go in here, I've added the dirt tiles to this little side piece of the Hunter's Lodge, and the last one that you saw, this piece was wide open. In this particular one, I chose to close it off so that I could not only plant on the dirt tiles, I could plant down here on the ground. So I've got my corn on the ground, ragstad, and then I've started with razor grain. I've got to get some more stuff because I just picked up the dirt tiles today. So I figured you would like that right there. Give me 1 second. I have a teammate asking me to join, so let me join. Teammates means more XP. All right. So that's that particular section. Now, same thing on this section. I try to put the majority workbenches I leave accessible to everybody. But anything that I don't want to be taken or I think is aesthetically not pleasing, I put behind a wall. So you'll see that in just a second. Once again, you can see I've got my acid, wood, collectron, got my adhesive tree over here. I just put that stuff inside there. Got my extractor once again built in the floor because I don't like it to stick out. A lot of people leave it out in the yard. It's just my preference that I put it up, okay? In this particular area, I've got my cement truck. It is just not a pleasing piece of equipment, but it does make 40 concrete. So I have to have that, especially all the building that I'm doing, okay? Then I'm going to go back over here. If I can get out, I've locked myself in. All right, I got out. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to smelt down my copper. Just like so. Go ahead and put it up in the box. Get all that crap off of me. Close the door just because it drives me crazy to have open doors. That's just one of my idiosyncrasies, no big deal. So that's actually the second version. And like I say, you can see the way that I've built right into it so it looks absolutely like it belongs. If you get back at this view, as you can see, it's still a different look from the second one. Okay? While we're on this video, I'm going to go on and I'm going to take you in the shelter because I actually have a third version in the shelter. The neat thing about a shelter is you can do things that you cannot do outside. You can add walls where walls should not be added. So walls typically will not go inside pre-builts. But in a shelter, they will. So if you look at the front of this pre-built, I actually put the little building off to the side, but as you can see, it blends right in. Because they gave us this dinosaur on one of the scoreboards, and he will fit in this big shelter, I decided to go ahead and I just put him there. These little doodads, like this gel and stuff, these are also some pre-builts they gave us on one of the scoreboards. So I just used them basically to cover some walls. If you run around the outside out here, I just added like a big, gigantic sort of playground area. Got a couple of games out here, no big deal. Really haven't finished decorating this. Just wanted to show you guys that pre-builts can be made inside shelters, and they sink way down deeper than they do in the other place. But as you can see, everything snapped right in. Come around to this section. I did a couple of merge right here where I actually merge plants into this gigantic trough planter. If you go in here, you can see here, this is what I was talking about. These walls absolutely merge straight into this building. No trickery or anything like that. It's just inside a shelter, they just build and they snap a lot differently. Okay, I use this room as one of my buff rooms. So I've got the pool table out here. It actually gives charisma, so I did that. Went ahead and put the little wine thing out here. I thought that would be kind of cute. So it's kind of like a playroom, man's cave, something to that effect, okay? We're going to go inside. Now, I changed things around on the inside. I actually put the fireplace on this side as the living room. I put the kitchen on this side, and I used a different color kitchen I used the green one. Actually, I got this one from the Atomic Shop. The white one came off a scoreboard. I put a little dinette table, sits two. And then that fireplace, like I said, that fireplace actually does not light up. But I thought if I threw a few little flowers on it and kind of to that effect, it really looks more like a pizza oven. That's why I put the kitchen on this side. Okay, that's that floor. On the second floor, like I say, haven't added a lot, but I do have the glass floor once again. Few buffs, a few games, as you can see. Now the third floor, that's where it gets kind of impressive in a shelter. Got to use my little bear to jump up here. Haven't got the jetpack, remember. New character, working on all that. Okay? So this is the bedroom. This time, this little shelf up here, I'm kind of using it as a part of the bathroom. These walls in a shelter can be built. So I can actually wall off the bathroom. There's the bed. There's the little lamp over there, okay? In this bathroom, as you can see, the little shelf, I put plants up there. And this time, instead of the regular white sink, I went with the brown kind of bar sink just to give it a different feel. Still toilet, got a bathroom, got to have a toilet. Then, of course, I've got my doggone little light right there. So once again, even another version of a pre-built. Still adding all three floors to give you much more space because so many people think that there's just nothing that can be done with these things. This was all kind of a bet. The guys are like, Snow, I don't think you can do anything like this. And so, just to prove, of course, a man wrong, I had to go and I had to do it just because I wanted to prove my point. And then I added the wall around the outside. And I don't know, I think it looks pretty good. You guys will have to tell me. Just reply in the comments. Once again, like I say, just another version. Actually, another two versions. I'll be back with some other versions of some things to show you guys. I do have another character I created on Catfish's account. He's not very happy because it's a female, but it's okay. I'm only going to play her, and I call her Catwoman. I'll be back at another time to show you guys that. Once again, peace and love goes out to Brandon and Kim. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in another episode of The Wasteland. Bye!